And I said this to Tucker Carlson on television. I said, I'm going to be buying the top forever. No, it's okay. Now, everybody's got to do their thing. The short's got to be short. The long's got to be long. The trader's got to trade. The hater's got to hate. This is a global monetary asset. It is worthy of attention. If it's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million.
Yep.
And that's where we find ourselves today.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, Michael Saylor dives into Bitcoin's historic leap past $100,000, sharing bold insights on MicroStrategy's role as a Bitcoin powerhouse and the future of institutional adoption. Let's catch him for more.
I think it's an important milestone because when you get to the six-figure level, I think it sends the message to people that Bitcoin is here to stay. I think there's been multiple stages of Bitcoin, right? There were the early years when it wasn't clear what it was or whether it would survive. Then there were the block size war years when there was a big fight over the identity of Bitcoin and what was Bitcoin and what wasn't Bitcoin. And then I think from 2020 to 2024, I would say those were the crazy years, but there was the big question was, is Bitcoin an institutional grade asset? Will it be embraced by governments, by corporations, by institutions, by traditional capital markets? And there was back and forth, and there was a lot of skepticism. And, some people said it's too good to be true. Some people said it's so good they'll ban it. Some people said, well, there'll be a little bit, but it won't be much. And then there's a big fight over, is it a currency or is it capital? And I think that since November 5th, right, we've seen kind of a surge from like 68, 67, all the way through 100. I think the answer that's been questioned, the question that's been answered is Bitcoin here to stay? Is it an institutional grade asset? Will it be embraced by the wealth and the power of the world? And I think busting through 100,000 is a numeric punctuation to the emphatic answer to that question, which is yes.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is navigating a turbulent phase, trading in a mid-range zone as long-term holders continue to offload their holdings, reshaping market dynamics. Recent data indicates a notable shift in BTC ownership, with profit-taking activities by long-term holders increasing. This trend has created bid-ask imbalances, where selling pressure has gained the upper hand, potentially paving the way for a downturn. Bitcoin's profitability has also diminished following recent corrections, leaving its gains at 19.86% as skepticism lingers about the sustainability of its modest 0.37% price increase. Glassnode data highlights that long-term Bitcoin holders, those retaining the asset for over 6 months, are increasingly liquidating their positions. While ultra-long-term holders, who have held BTC for over 7 years, remain largely inactive, the proportion of BTC held by this cohort has dropped significantly, from over 60% to approximately 50%. This redistribution of BTC ownership empowers short-term holders, whose influence grows even as the market remains in its early stages. A deeper analysis reveals that long-term holders across various cohorts, from 1 to 2 years to 3 to 5 years, are reducing their stakes. This is especially evident in the 3 to 5 year cohort, which has decreased its holdings from a peak of 15.3% to 13.9%. Such sell-offs, coupled with declining interest from long-term investors, indicate a potential weakening of Bitcoin's support levels. Unlike previous market cycles, the emergence of Bitcoin spot ETF has added complexity to the market. Institutional investors, once aggressive accumulators, are now selling their holdings, reducing their market share from 25% to 16%. Concurrently, bid imbalances highlight a low demand for Bitcoin, which has created additional downward pressure on its price. Heblock data shows a 50% bid imbalance within a small percentage of the order book, signaling a sell-dominated phase. At the same time, CryptoQuant reports an increase in exchange net flow, with over 22,000 BTC deposited recently, further amplifying the available supply. While the market faces heightened selling pressure, the possibility of a rally persists, contingent on whether remaining long-term holders decide to hold out for higher prices. However, for now, low demand and rising supply suggest Bitcoin is poised for more challenging times ahead.
Yeah, I think we crawled out of the valley of the crypto winter, and we crawled, recovered back into the 30s or the 40s, and then I think we got into 2024, and I think in 2024, we started with some cautious optimism, Bitcoin grinding up, a lot of questions about the rest of the digital assets economy, but Bitcoin, recovering from the bottom on its own without help from anybody. And then we got the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. And then we had the halving. And the consequences of the halving were a number of things. One, there was a big secular rotation of capital from a bunch of Bitcoin miners to MicroStrategy. The options market in Bitcoin moved from the miners to MicroStrategy. So all of a sudden, MicroStrategy emerged as, a leading volatility, liquidity trade in the crypto ecosystem. And we became aware of that. And I think the second thing is 450 Bitcoin a day, which is $45 million a day of selling, got taken out of the market. And so the supply tightened, or the natural supply tightened. The market matured. The ETFs legitimized the asset class. And we went into the summer. And it was a big summer. The summer where the Trump campaign, first of all, caught a huge amount of electricity in the greater political economy. And then Trump embraced Bitcoin and embraced crypto. And the crypto community and the Bitcoin community embraced Trump. That took us into the November 5th elections, and two things kind of happened around that time frame. On October 30th, MicroStrategy announced our 21-21 plan. We had basically gone and done one convert, a second convert, a third convert, a fourth convert, and a few $1 billion of ATM issuance. So we had raised quite a bit of capital, but we were doing it piecemeal, quarter by quarter, and we decided it was time for us to be more strategic. So we announced a $21 billion equity shelf registration and a $21 billion fixed income plan over 3 years. That was the biggest equity shelf registration in the history of capital markets. So no one ever sold $21 billion of equity like that, ever, right? And that kind of flies past some people because it's like, what I'm saying is like out of every company, ever.
Right.
Never done before.
The Bitcoin demand and the Bitcoin company did it.
Yeah, one Bitcoin company did it. And of course, we did it because we have the world's best use of proceeds, right? The first time in human history, you have a commodity that returns higher than the S&P with higher volatility than the S&P. So you have 60 vol, 60 ARR on Bitcoin going for many years versus 15 for the S&P. Now you had a commodity, high vol, high performance. You can put 100% of your balance sheet. Well, that means in theory you can issue infinite equity, right? I mean, as long as you can return more than the S&P. Every other commodity, I mean, real estate, art, gold, it's 10 vol, 10 ARR, 7 vol, 7 ARR, 5. So everything other than Bitcoin was always less than the cost of capital. MicroStrategy, we kind of discovered a crypto reactor that could be fueled by Bitcoin, and we put a crypto reactor in the middle of our company. It's kind of like turning on a nuclear reactor or putting an internal combustion engine in a horseless carriage. And, that's what we learned in 2024. And we came in October 30th and we said, this is what we're going to do. And that was very well received by the capital markets. That was a big success.
Yeah.
Dogecoin's recent consolidation has sparked optimism about a potential rally to $0.50, especially as overbought conditions have cooled down. After a 208% breakout in early November, Doge has fluctuated within a range of $0.35 to $0.48, reflecting a period of consolidation. A recent correction pushed Doge below an ascending trend line, signaling a possible bearish shift. However, technical indicators suggest that an uptrend may soon resume. A key signal comes from the Relative Strength Index, RSI, which has reset from its overbought levels. Historically, when Doge's RSI eased back to 50, such as in March 2024, significant bullish momentum followed. Data analytics from Sentiment also point to a bullish outlook, highlighting a 31% drop in Dogecoin's mean dollar invested age over the past 8 weeks, signaling renewed circulation of dormant coins. Although Doge may dip to $0.32, $0.34 to collect liquidity, a strong breakout above $0.50 could occur imminently. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.